So let's talk about these attacks. They happened in eastern Syria. They targeted a weapons warehouse and an ammunition storage area, we've learned. Again, this is all in response to the threats against American military members, not just in Syria, but also in Iraq. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin put out a statement saying the U.S. does not desire to engage with further hostilities, but would not hesitate to make further necessary measures to protect our people. Also in Israel, in addition to the airstrikes that we're watching right now by the IDF, the fresh round, overnight yesterday, we know tanks entered Gaza on the ground. That's the second day in a row. IDF saying it struck more than 250 terror targets belonging to the Hamas terrorist organization. It also confirmed IDF forces killed a commander of the Weston Khan Yunis Battalion. Let's get you right out to the ground. And with the latest on this show of force and obviously what is happening there this Friday evening, Daniel Cohen standing by with new details. Daniel?
Yeah, Bianca, I'll tell you why I'm here in just a moment, but let's carry on that conversation. So maybe you're asking why. Why is Israel pummeling Gaza with these airstrikes, leveling these tall buildings? It's more or less to pave the way so that when the Israeli forces do go in, the ground forces there, they're not going to be susceptible to elevated positions from Gaza there. Sorry, guys, I can still hear 1 second there. But in the meantime, let me just tell you this. The sun has set here on Friday in Israel, and that's when religious and non-religious Jews come together for Shabbat. They gather for dinners. Behind me, you can see 220 empty chairs. Why are they empty? Well, those are the faces of Israelis who've been kidnapped, taped on each chair. You'll see teddy bears, yellow balloons. It's a very painful reminder that guests are sitting down right now as we speak, having Shabbat, having dinner, and there are guests missing from their dinner table. There are Holocaust survivors, and as I've walked around and seen, people have been taking pictures. It's a very somber and solemn. There's a baby that looks, I believe, 9 months old, maybe even younger. I was trying to read in Hebrew what it said there. Heartbreaking. Meantime, the IDF says Israel sent tanks, infantry forces, Navy commandos into Gaza for a second limited incursion overnight. The second night in a row, forces there briefly entered the strip ahead of the expected full ground offensive. Like we were saying, they're trying to, it's almost a pre-strike. IDF says it killed 5 senior terrorists in airstrikes Thursday. Hamas commanders. 10 Americans are among the 220 people kidnapped from Israel still being held in captivity. The State Department estimates 500 to 600 American citizens are trapped. Remember, the terrorists there, they want to keep civilians there as human shields. They don't want them to reach the Rafah crossing into Egypt. They want to keep them there. Listen.
The problem has been up until now, and it's the problem that we've been trying to unlock, is that at times on the Gaza side of the border, there has been no one there from Hamas to open the gates and process people and let them through. And at other times, there have been actually armed Hamas militants standing there, not even letting people approach the gate. And so we are continuing to work through with the United Nations, with the government of Egypt, the government of Israel, how to get this situation unlocked.
Meantime, scary moments in Tel Aviv. You may hear in this video Thursday at a rally. These are families of Israelis taken hostage, and that is the rocket warning siren. Everyone in Israel knows it. When you hear it, you get up immediately. You can see hundreds of people here in attendance at this rally for hostage family members and the missing. Hamas and other smaller terror factions have launched over 7,500 rockets. I heard 5 in the last hour just where I'm sitting here toward Israel since October 7th. On a personal note, Bianca, I want to share this. Iron Dome intercepted 2 rockets in the sky over a wedding that my wife and I attended last night. It was in Ra'anana, which is just a few miles from here where I'm standing in Ramat HaSharon. 300 people in attendance. Our Red Alert app pinged. Everybody's phone started going off. We heard the interceptions. We saw it. We saw it with our own eyes, and life it carried on. It was an incredible wedding to let loose and have fun, but wow, rockets exploding overhead, and the Jewish people just went on with the wedding. Bianca, as I send it back to you, one more bit of breaking news. The IDF just released satellite imagery of Hamas's main operations base. It's under Shifa Hospital. That's right. Their main operations base is under a hospital in Gaza, which may come as no surprise to you, since Hamas uses mosques and residential buildings and office spaces to store their weapons.
Someone share that with Rashida Tlaib so she can get some of the facts reporting there. Great job down there, Daniel. I mean, in a way, I'm glad there was a wedding because so many funerals have been the forefront. So if there's a glimmer of joy there, I'm just...
That's right. No, Bianca, I have to share this with you. In the Jewish custom tradition, you don't stop a wedding. A wedding, unless it's a funeral. That's the only thing you pause or delay or reschedule for. So even the father of the groom when he was toasting, as we heard the rockets being intercepted, and he said, "Not even these rockets are going to stop you two from being married." It was a sweet and incredible, surreal moment.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And the resilience of the Israelis on display there again. Daniel Cohen, appreciate your reporting. Thank you so much. Continue to keep us updated with what's happening in the air over there. All right, let's bring in our panel now to discuss what is happening in Israel and also these airstrikes in Syria. We have former senior naval intelligence officer John Jordan with us today, and also retired U.S. Army Colonel John Mills. Gentlemen, welcome in. First, some of the breaking news. So there is another launch, I guess, of airstrikes here, fresh IDF airstrikes. You know, they've been delayed in their ground offensive, it seems, you know, and now every passing day there is, you know, a concern not just about what Iran will do, but also what about the U.S. troops now. We just had an attack on Erbil. Colonel Mills, first to you, to your reaction to the breaking news.
Well, yeah, thank you, Bianca. So they're striking. We have a footprint still in Iraq, still in Syria. Not well known. It's there, and they've been operating in stealth mode. But what they're doing now is terrorists are reaching out, and these are Iranian-backed terrorists inside, and they're attacking our base camps. We have 24 injured, and a lot of people say, oh, they're just injured. They're just going to wipe the dust off. Well, this means some of our service members and contractors could be missing arms, legs, and other serious injuries. So this is the danger of forever war footprint in these areas.
Frightening. Not lost on us is the other situation which is happening. You want to highlight, not reported as widely, John. It's Moscow. The Iranian foreign minister spent some time there yesterday. What are you learning?
Yeah, the Iranian foreign minister was there yesterday and had a meeting with the Russian deputy foreign minister, who talked about actually sharing ballistic missile technology with Iran. Obviously, Iran supplies Russia with a lot of drones and hardware, but this Russia-Iran nexus is not one to be ignored, and it's not just limited to Ukraine. Now, Bianca, all of this happened with the Hamas going into Israel. This just didn't happen. This has been planned over 2 years. Even Hamas, one of their leaders, went to Moscow and said on Russian television that we started planning this right after the American withdrawal from Afghanistan. And you can't help but notice that the Chinese have started importing a lot of Iranian oil on the sly, discounted. North Korea is shipping arms to Russia. There is I don't know how much coordination there is, but they're certainly piggybacking off each other. And none of these things are an accident or planned in a vacuum.
Yes, and the UN sanctions were let to lapse, which gives them more authority there to get missiles. Colonel Mills, I have, unfortunately, just about 30 seconds left. Joe Biden off to Rehoboth Beach tonight. Isn't that grand? And we have all of this unfolding on his watch. What your hope is from the State Department, from this administration? Clearly, the 2 strikes by the F-16s were just a start, but do they need to go? How much further do they need to go against Iran, and how quickly?
They need to impose cost. This is not in their DNA. They don't understand. This is why none of this happened when President Trump was in office. He knew how to impose cost, and there's many ways to do that. We also have the dangerous situation of, it looks like for the first time, a Chinese naval force has now in the Eastern Mediterranean. So we're potentially setting up the precipice of active World War III. But we're not getting decisive leadership out of this administration in any way, shape, or form, which only ensures conflict.
John Jordan, Colonel Mills, come back real soon, guys. Thanks so much for the analysis today and bringing us up to speed on what's happening on this multi-front war right now.
Thank you, Bianca.
Thank you both.
Bianca.